Hi students, today we are going to discuss the next poem Abu Ben Adam, written by James Henry Rayhunt. It is a literary gem based on the spirit of fraternity. First published in The Amulet by S.V. Hall, the poem is Hunt's rendering of a divine encounter between an angel and the Sufi mystic Ibrahim bin Adam. This is a narrative poem where Hunt uses the storytelling technique to convey a profound reflection. Loving one's fellow man is perhaps more virtuous, if not at par, with loving the Almighty Himself. So let us see what is the background of this poem. Incidentally, the poem draws from Arabian lore, where in the Islamic month of Nous Shaban, God takes the golden book of mankind and chooses those dear to Him who He will call in the coming year. Thus, indirectly, this is also a poem about a blessed death. It is a fitting tribute, then, that the verse, "Write me as one who loves his fellow man," came to be used in Hunt's epitaph. The legend of Abu Ben Adam was picked up by Hunt from the French book The Bibliothèque Orientale. Hunt's choice of subject and setting, an Arabian tale with idealistic and supernatural overtones, is an example of romantic Orientalism. Against this backdrop, the otherworldly quality of the poem is enhanced. Now let us move to the poem Abu Ben Adam, written by Leigh Hunt. In the first part, the poem opens with the name of the protagonist and a blessing upon him. The use of the parenthesis in "may his tribe increase" indicates that this portion is not directly linked to the poem itself. Yet this is a gesture by the poet to declare that here is a man worth remembering for generations to come. The second line till the fifth line. These lines are full of visual imagery and metaphors. They describe an awakening. A deep dream of peace refers to a meditative, restful state that Abu Ben Adam was in. Abu awakens to the presence of the angel, which has already effected a transformation of the room, gliding it, making it look like a lily in bloom. The angel is writing something in a golden book. The simile, like a lily in bloom, conveys the potential of this encounter to bloom into something pure and noble. The fabled book of gold symbolizes its richness and the great value placed on its contents. Now from the line, exceeding peace had made Ben Adam bold, from there till answered the names of those who love the God. I will explain the meaning. It is not with every day that one has a divine visitor calmly writing away in one's room. Imagine Abu Ben Adam's astonishment. Then again feel the tranquil awareness that still comes through. The angel's nonchalant actions could have emboldened him to satisfy his curiosity. Without any preamble, he asks the angel, "What writest thou?" An old-fashioned way of asking, "What are you writing?" The angel replies in a tone of sweet accord, a voice full of patience and kindness, that it is writing the names of those who have been honored by heaven for their love of God. Another feature to consider in this portion are the ways by which the poet refers to the angel as the presence and as a vision. And from next line, "and with a look made of all sweet accord," from there till "write me as one that loves his fellow man." Eagerly Abu asks if his love for God has been worthy enough to earn him a place in the angel's heavenly book. The angel's negative answer comes in a kind but matter-of-fact way. But he still perseveres and humbly but cheerfully makes his iconic request to write his name as one who loves his fellow men. Contemplate on the fact that Abu Ben Adam is unsure about his love for God in contrast to the confidence he has of his love for mankind. "Write me as one that loves his fellow man." These are the words that hold the poem's essence and render this poem immortal. Now we will see the second stanza and the last 4 lines. "The angel wrote and vanished. The next night it came again with a great awakening light." Our angelic host complies and leaves only to return in the next night. Our poet now speaks of a second awakening. Here we see a great awakening light, so bright that it rouses Abu Ben Adam awake. On a metaphoric level, this speaks of an enlightenment. Contrast this with the earlier awakening scenario, which is inherently more gentle and subtle. Our heavenly messenger apparently comes with some important news. Now the last 2 lines, "and showed the names whom love of God had blessed, and lo, Ben Adam's name led all the rest." This is the moment of truth, the point where most readers either smile or scoff. Whatever your reaction, this is where the poem bears the priorities of God. The angel now reveals the names whom God has blessed. To Abu Ben Adam's astonishment, it is his name that leads everyone else. His love for mankind proved to be valued greater than the other's love of God, and brings charm and idealism to his interpretation of religion that finds more virtue in acts of compassion rather than just faith. This is what makes this poem memorable. This is about the explanation of the poem. Now we can discuss something. What are the main themes of this poem? So we can directly say the main theme that is mentioned by the poet in this poem is compassion. God is great, but even in all religion, God speaks that love your fellow beings. That is the main idea, compassion towards your fellow beings, your neighbors. That is what the poet tries to convey through this memorable poem, Abu Ben Adam. So we can say the first and foremost theme of this poem is compassion towards the fellow beings. So even we can say, next we can consider faith in God. Once you have a strong belief in God, it is not that whether you adore God, whether you respect God, whether you accept or deny God, that is not the matter. Whether you praise God, that is not the matter. Your actions or your service to the mankind is important than adoring God, worshipping God, or praising God. So that is the faith. Implementing what God has said is the priority of your life. God said in every religion, whether it is Bible or Quran or Mahabharata or whatever it is, Bhagavad Gita, it speaks about you love even your enemies. Do good to your neighbors, your fellow beings, your friends, all your fellow men. You do good. That is what the priority of your life. Instead of in a sealed room praising God, worshipping God, and offering pujas to God, it does not mean anything. Come out of the sealed room and do service to your fellow beings. That is what the poet tries to convey through this poem. So these are the main themes. So here we stop the chapter, the explanations, and what you want to do is read the poem and the explanation what is given in the workbook, complete the workbook exercises, and if there is any doubt regarding this chapter, you can comment and we will solve it.